That is new in the Diddy lawsuit, and the new allegations are just coming out this evening. JayZ is being accused of a minor along with Diddy.
2007, JayZ and Diddy had been friends for a while, and at a performance at Screamfest, Diddy could be seen smacking Jay's butt a couple of times. Now, I personally don't think this holds that much weight in these theories like some other people do. Lots of friends tend to joke with each other like this, but to be fair, Diddy has been a little bit liberal in some of his jokes. However, 50 Cent took this as an opportunity, as he always does, to clown on the two. It's hard to say how good of friends Diddy and JayZ are, but they have been seen together hanging out over the years plenty, so it's safe to assume they are at the very least.
Let's break down this major development that's shaking the entire scene. JayZ, the mogul known for his ice-cold composure and strategic chess player moves, just broke that legendary calm in a way nobody saw coming. No tabloid headline, no insider leak could have prepared anyone for what unfolded. The man who usually operates in total silence suddenly let the world see raw emotion, unfiltered, unmasked, completely human. It was like watching a titan drop his shield in the middle of a storm. For a split second, everyone froze. The crowd didn't cheer or gasp. They simply watched, stunned. The whispers started instantly, spreading from the front row to every corner of social media. What could have pushed a billionaire mogul, a man whose brand is built on total control, to crack in front of millions? What's hiding behind those designer shades and that empire-level confidence? Whatever it is, one thing is for sure. This story is nowhere near over.
I give my opinion, and it seems to make a lot of people upset, but then a lot of people love my opinion. That's why you bring me on here. And I really appreciate that, brother. I just want to say this before we get started, Art, is that, a lot of people think I came here to bring a black man down. And that's what I hear in the comments a whole lot. But it was nothing like that. A black man didn't cuss a dead man's mother out. A black man didn't set his friends up and put them in a situation where they couldn't come home to their families no more. A black man didn't reach back and help the people that helped them make it up the ladder. It was Puffy. You know what I'm saying? I got tired of Puffy going on different platforms talking about how he loved the people that we was all with, how he loved the people that helped him, when in fact, none of that stuff was true. So my whole thing about it is, man, I appreciate your platform for letting me, voice my opinion. And like I said, opinions like an asshole. Some of these cats out here get paid for their asshole. I get paid to give my opinion.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I mean, yeah, you just on here giving your opinion, man. I mean, you was one of the people that was real close to the situation, so why not?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So with that being said, right, the last interview me and you did was a day after the raid. And when you look at everything now, man, how you feel about everything? It's been like a week, knowing Diddy, you being around Diddy. Could you ever imagine that his houses would get raided for sex trafficking?
Bruh, you can't imagine no stuff like that. You understand? You can't think that, because back then he wasn't Brother Love. He was Puffy. All the way up until he became Diddy. So his behavior over the years has...
The current buzz has that intense energy because something far deeper is bubbling beneath the surface. This isn't just about a single bad day. It feels like the pressure valve finally blew. The streets are buzzing, asking what's really going on with JayZ. And the whispers point to something that's been building for years. Rewind the story. Growing up in the Marcy projects doesn't just fade away with fame or fortune. That kind of foundation leaves scars that no number of platinum plaques can polish clean. The grind, the hustle, the unrelenting drive to rule an industry that eats its own, it all adds up, weighing on him in silence. Behind the mogul's smile and billionaire confidence, speculation has been accumulating for years about fractures, the strain of marriage, the burn of the spotlight, and the endless race to outrun his own legend. Even that infamous elevator moment with Solange wasn't the explosion everyone thought it was. It was just a warning tremor. What's hidden underneath all that control might be something far more powerful. And this time, it's breaking through the surface.
Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Yeah, shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him. And so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a JayZ victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it.
Let's shift the focus to Queen Bey, because being married to music royalty might look like the ultimate fairy tale, but beneath the glitz, it's anything but easy. That kind of pressure doesn't just test love. It tests endurance. Living in Beyoncé's orbit means living inside both a crown and a storm, where perfection is expected and vulnerability is forbidden. Behind the flawless performances, the designer gowns, and the billion-dollar empire are 3 kids, endless expectations, and cameras that never stop watching. It's not just a marriage, it's a public balancing act on the world's highest stage. In an industry that never allows a pause for the soul, being on becomes survival. Yet, even icons bend under invisible weight. So, maybe what the world witnessed wasn't JayZ breaking down, but finally breaking free. A release years in the making. A man who's carried his history, his reputation, and his private demons for decades finally letting that armor drop, if only for one raw, unguarded moment.
Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was JayZ girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh, yeah. That's what I was about to ask.
JayZ's pregnant mistress, who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. Right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out Cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like JayZ's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce, and I say that women do have
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit, stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap music with goddamn a holster and a pad.
This wasn't a collapse at all, but a much-needed reset. Sometimes you have to hit the lowest point to recognize the path back to clarity. Behind those legendary designer shades isn't just a statement of style. It's a shield hiding decades of pressure, lessons, and unspoken truths the world has never been allowed to see. But let's get one thing straight. This isn't the downfall of JayZ. It's the pivot, the storm before the transformation. Every empire faces a tremor before it rebuilds stronger. What we're witnessing might just be the rebirth of a man reclaiming his balance, redefining his legacy, and rewriting his narrative on his own terms. And if there's one constant in JayZ's story, it's this. Every time he moves, the world watches frame by frame, heartbeat by heartbeat, waiting to see what he'll do next.
Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that. Remake that. Stand by that. That's a real country hit. Jolene, nice. But it has a ring to it. Stand by your man. Yeah. Whoops you and disrespects you with other like Kathy Coriana White.
All right, well, let's do it like
this. Who was actually carrying his baby while you was faking it. Why your husband don't want to put his seed inside of you? He put it in everybody else. Wild in this world, yo.
It's funny, you open up Beyonce's internet, it just gets weird.
Beyonce's internet.
That's what we're calling
that
it.
That belongs to the devil. Unless you calling that the devil, she ain't nothing but an employee.
Oh.
And half of which dumbass bitch.
So, it's funny that it's crazy you say these things.
I know nobody want to accept that bitch bitch.
I think
she went and killed the girl Cats.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and while she was asleep. Snacking on his bitch, killing people, cats. And guess what? They wouldn't give her a restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too. Which is interesting because she's a brilliant musician. And she was trained at the esteemed Berklee College of Music. Handpicked by my very good friend, Terry Lynn Carrington, Dr. Terry Lynn Carrington, who put together Beyonce's entire female band, which was Matthew Knowles' idea because he couldn't get Beyonce to stop people. Guess you didn't know your daughter well enough.
I wouldn't believe the wildfire that erupted after JayZ's moment hit the internet. It didn't just trend, it detonated. One short clip was all it took to set the entire digital world ablaze, like a single spark dropped into a pool of gasoline. Within hours, that footage was everywhere. Timelines were flooded, headlines were exploding, and the streets were buzzing like never before. Celebrities wasted no time jumping in, with Diddy, Rihanna, and others sending waves of support that only fueled the frenzy. A world locked in Twitter went into full meltdown mode. Instagram stories looped the moment on repeat, and TikTok couldn't upload reactions fast enough. Some fans were deeply moved, some were simply stunned, and the usual critics rolled in, calling it all a staged PR stunt. But real or rehearsed, emotional or strategic, it didn't matter. The truth was undeniable. The world was locked in, eyes glued, unable to look away from the man who'd always mastered control, now standing bare before millions.
Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames.
That was very weird. The next day, within a week?
And no, the next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So let me ask you,
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode, but for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys
and get arrested immediately after because JayZ paid somebody up just so he couldn't have a good night. You Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. Don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate you and AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her.
You'd expect JayZ's camp to come out swinging, right? To shut it all down, flip the story, and completely reclaim the narrative. The failed narrative, but when they finally spoke, it was the same tired PR message, personal matters. Please respect our privacy. Come on. The world isn't buying that anymore. Everyone is craving the truth behind the silence. Meanwhile, the industry caught fire. Even Kanye, yes, that Kanye stepped up with words of support. For a rare moment, it felt like hip-hop itself hit pause, uniting behind one of its own. The legend breaks down for decades. We've seen JayZ as untouchable, the embodiment of composure, the man above the noise. But now, we're witnessing something different, him unraveling in real time. It's surreal, almost cinematic, like watching Superman break down in front of the world. Some say it's growth, a powerful moment that proves he's human after all. Others think it's a crack in the armor that might dull the legend. But one thing's undeniable. The entire game just shifted, and nothing in the culture will feel quite the same again.
Jay. Okay. That's why it's Fuck Rock Nation. Hey. Wow.
I'm going to tell everybody about Big L, Sean.
Big L?
I would just rather do it on the stand, Sean. Please sue me. I want to go to court. And I want to talk about Big L on the stand.
Wow. What's your thoughts about Dame Dash?
Dame Dash got fucked over by somebody who was supposed to be his friend.
So this Big L is associated.
Big L is the one that put JayZ on.
Wow.
JayZ was the last person to see Big L alive.
Wait, so this Big L person is not living on this earth no more?
He's been dead for years. His death made it possible for reasonable doubt to live.
Whoa.
See how good I keep secrets, Sean?
We are living in a time where truth cuts deeper than perfection. And maybe, just maybe, JayZ's so-called breakdown is the kind of raw authenticity the world has been starving for. The power of the reset? This is a man who's weathered everything. Decades in the spotlight, endless scandals, public feuds, and the crushing weight of expectation. Yet somehow, this moment feels different. More human, more revealing, maybe even more powerful than all his victories combined. It's not the kind of fall that ends a legacy, it's the kind that resets one. Something in the air says he's not just going to bounce back. He's going to rise sharper, calmer, and more deliberate than ever before. What's next? The streets are still buzzing, timelines are still pulsing, and everyone's asking the same thing. Will Jay finally speak his truth? And will Beyoncé break? Her silence? One thing's for sure, something big is brewing behind the curtain. And when it hits, it won't just make headlines. It'll shake the entire culture to its core. Stay locked in. The next chapter is coming, and it's going to hit hard.
The talk shows with Oprah that we went through, and Dr. Phil and stuff like that, even Ricky Lake and all of that, we realized that it wasn't so cool messing with the underage young ladies. I never had an attraction for someone young. I always looked and had an attraction for older women, so I probably didn't have that problem. But then everybody that I fucked with did. Everybody. All of them. No names mentioned yet. But I'm going to expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of JayZ with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly. But that ain't the only one that Jay had when she was underage. Yeah, I remember Fox Brown and Jay. Ain't no woman like the one I got. No one could love you better. Before that song came out, we used to hear it. I used to tell shit. I was like, woo, that shit. Him and Mystical, those were two songs that were hot. That it took like a year before it got, well, I'll say to the West Coast. I don't know if they were beating it up on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, it took like a year before those songs came out. And then Nelly's song with the Lake St. Louis text. But I'm just saying all that to say, Foxy was young then as well. And so, all of these guys and the underage young ladies was running rapid in the 90s. And so, that's all I remember. That's all I think about, you know, with the DeBarge and Janet Jackson situation. Hey, that's all I think about, and I can remember about Aaliyah. Aaliyah was my wife's favorite artist. She loved the hell out of Aaliyah. It was a tragic how she died. You know, trying to rush back to get to Damon Dash on the plane. You know, and what happened is the Bahamians let her fly out, and their plane was overloaded or full. That's the one thing that I didn't like about when I traveled to our black countries like the Bahamas and Jamaica and all of them. The officials there, we used to have to bribe them $100 to make rules pass, to let us in with the dogs that we didn't have properly claimed, or you know, the not search our bags or whatever, or to sneak away with a whole bunch of cigars and stuff like that. But in Mexico, one thing about the motherfucking Mexican authorities, that number used to be 5 G's, 5,000 and stuff like that. And I used to laugh. I was like, damn, black folks is easily bribable. They so cheap. They don't understand the value that they be having. But yeah, that's all I got on Aaliyah, really. It's a talent. That's another person that life was taken too soon. That was a talent. Wonder where she would be now. Her, Pac, Big.
This JayZ moment isn't just about him. It's shaking something far deeper at the heart of hip-hop itself. For decades, the culture has been built on strength, on resilience, on the image of being untouchable, the ultimate flex. But beneath that, armor. These artists are human, carrying invisible battles the world rarely sees. We've watched it unfold before. When Young Handsome opened up about depression, when Kanye spoke candidly about his bipolar struggles. And now, seeing JayZ, one of the most private and composed figures in music, reveal his own cracks feels fundamentally different. A long overdue. Truth? It's not weakness, it's truth. The mask that's defined the game for so long is slipping, and what's emerging is something real, raw, and long overdue. This isn't just another viral headline, it's a cultural reset. When someone like JayZ, a man who's built an empire on control and composure, allows vulnerability to surface, it sends a powerful message to the world. If even he can break down and reach out, maybe it's time we all stop pretending we can't either.
It was almost as if Michael Bivins was like having like PTSD from New Edition being a child star and said, I'm going to find some real talented guys.
Do this again.
And I'm going to fuck them over worse
We're
than
gonna
we
do this
did.
again.
So we can say it happened to somebody else.
That's PTSD for you. Like, we're going to make them relive it. Make them relive it. God damn.
Why would you do that to another artist?
Yeah.
Why would you sit there and say, man, we had the #1 record and we were still on food stamps, and then force your group to do that?
Hey, man.
Why would you do that?
Be your own people.
You want to know how fucked off it was for Big Mike at the end of his run before he had to leave Boyz II Men?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, please.
Let me tell you how bad his finances had gotten after his wife ran through what lump sum of money they had on that god-awful soul food restaurant that lacked soul and promptness. 6 hours to get a turkey wing platter. 6 hours. We used to call it opening to get it in time for dinner. Get your order in as soon as they open if you want to have it by 6. That was the joke around Voorhees.
Jeez.
Jill bought their house. She got it cheap. It would have been a $750,000 home back then, but they were forced to knock $250,000 off the top because of the structural damage. Apparently, they weren't able to take care of that home.
Yeah.
It was riddled with termites. Said the only thing holding it up was the paint.
Sure.
They needed the money. So Jill squeezed. And they sold that house for very much more than $400,000 less what it was worth. And they broke even.
Mm.
Is it the way you hate me, baby? That was my cousin Alma that sang that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me.
The apple don't fall far.
You don't want to diss me. I know you. Bitch. Wait a second. Did you hear what I just said? Michael Bivins fucked over Boyz II Men. And when Big Mike got sick, apparently there wasn't enough money available to help them through their hard times.
That's how it goes.
They didn't even promote that soul food restaurant.
Hey.
I mean, I can understand why it was some nigga shit, but maybe if they had got some real help, maybe they could have hired somebody to come in and help manage it. But no, they had to be a self-ran business because they couldn't afford it.
If he can break down, it's okay if you do too. The turning tide now, let's pull back and take a look at the bigger picture, because word is this moment could mark a real turning point for the culture. What JayZ just did might crack open a new era where artists finally start dropping the invincible act and get real about what they're actually going through behind the fame. But let's not sugarcoat it. It won't change overnight. There are still parts of the hip-hop world, especially among the old-school elite, where showing emotion is still seen as weakness. And you can bet some of them are watching this whole thing unfold in disbelief. Still, the tide is shifting. You can feel it. More voices are speaking up. More fans are listening. And the message is getting louder. Mental health is real. It matters, and it deserves the same respect as the music, the money, and the grind.
Like Jill Scott, who was also an artist and knew how bad that family was struggling and took that as an opportunity to get a very, very large-scale home in a lovely, lovely, white Jewish neighborhood for cheap.
Oh, okay. Whoa. Whoa.
I mean, I'm just like, you could have said, I know you guys don't want to walk away from your home, but at least let me pay you full value because I got the money and I want to see y'all be okay. She knew they were going to have to forfeit on that mortgage and she squeezed. She was kinder to that damn dog.
Oh man, Putter, what's his name?
Flutter, yeah.
Putter, God.
You gave the dog an idiot name and you wonder why he's shatting your shoe. The fuck is Flutter? What does that mean?
Yeah,
Oh, it's the sound his feet make. That's your fault, bitch. You named him nothing. How you gonna? Like, Flutter, I used to hate that shit. And he hated kids. And he barked at people's feet. Like he was fucked up.
Oh man.
I can see why Lizelle says she shouldn't make no babies.
Oh man.
I mean, that was her husband.
So,
He should have known her best.
yeah, let me
She
say
wrote a whole
this.
song about it. It was a hit record. Want to hear it?
It's not for rich. Oh shit.
Turn on a black radio station on Sunday where they sell bullshit all the time.
Jack, I want to ask.
Nothing progressive.
I have to say, most people that watch our interviews or your interviews as of late, the main question that comes up is, how does she know? What was she there? So
Yeah.
I want to do it like this. I'm gonna name some names.
Sure.
And I want to know, were you around them?
Sure.
I would like to start for what everybody knows is JayZ.
What about them?
Okay.
Both of them were with Mr. Carter. Ask me what you want to know and I'll answer what I can.
Let's just start with the base level. Business, personal.
Both.
Both.
And spiritual.
And spiritual. Okay.
We believe in the same power. We don't believe in appropriating it the same way.
Can I ask you this? For you, did you find joy in the business or pleasure? And when you answer that, I'm going to flip it on him. Do you feel he found joy in the business or pleasure part of that? Or spiritual?
He is the most shameful thing I've ever done. There is nothing that I experienced with that person that has not inspired shame except for Unplugged. That was the purest moment. For me, it was all done in love for music, love for all that was there, love for the culture. I hate the fact that we did it all for a culture vulture. For someone who never truly had the capacity to appreciate that moment in time, to steal it from the masses, to hide it, to cloak it. I put it up on Philadelphia last year when we launched. You know how many people came to the network to see that show that they never got to see? You know what's great about this year? I still got the footage.
There you go.
And in 1 week, JayZ Unplugged, the actual whole concert from beginning to end will be viewed and able to be viewed on realjag.com. Come and see the history. Come and see the power of that moment, the amazing things that we did with our bodies and our minds and our spirits. There was not one person in that room that was not elevated that night.
This section dives straight into the heart of it all, peeling back the glossy surface of fame and fortune to reveal the raw, uncomfortable humanity beneath. It's not about headlines or hype. It's about the moral and emotional gravity that emerges when manipulation wears the mask of kindness and power feeds off vulnerability. Here, privilege and desperation collide, exposing how even good intentions can twist into something darker. Reckoning and regret, when the focus turns to JayZ, the story transcends gossip and becomes something deeper, a confession, a moment of reckoning that carries the weight of regret, guilt, and self-awareness. It's the unfiltered clash between truth and exploitation, between the man the world worships and the flaws he's forced to face when the lights fade and the noise dies.